All right. So, according to the UN, we know that the world population will eventually level off between 9 and 11 billion people. That's still a huge number, but we know that it will plateau. And there's a couple of reasons why it will plateau. Who knows? Could be a pandemic. But there's three major reasons. One is national policy. That could be something, and a perfect example of that would be China's one child policy. Now, remember that this policy wasn't like you had to have one baby, otherwise, after that, the government would kill your child. No, 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 no. What it was mostly was that couples got tax benefits when they had one child, and you lost those tax benefits after you had that one child if you had more than that. There was a big problem with this though, when usually families would want to keep male children because that male child could then pass the lineage and could continue to pass on the name. So a lot of Chinese orphanages had a large influx of little girls. But what happens if think about what happens if your population is only men? What will happen to your population then? All right, so there's nobody procreating, and so your population would essentially just completely die off. So that policy has changed in the last few years with China. Another one is women's education. This sounds weird, but historically, when demographers look at population changes and overall population changes for the world, the greater a woman's education, the fewer children that she has. Now, that's not to say that there are some families that even I know that the mother has a bachelor's degree, a doctorate, and still has 5 kids. That happens. But overall, this is that overarching idea, is that the more education a woman has, the fewer children that she will have. The idea goes with this, the more education a woman has, the different types of jobs she will have, the longer or more, the more she'll be working. The more the woman works, the less she has the ability to have children and to take care of those children. Again, this is just an overall idea. There are exceptions to many of these models and many of these ideas, all right, when you look at it one by one versus as a large group. Family planning. Miss Kaluza, what is family planning? Family planning is this idea of consciously having an idea about how many children you want to have and are willing to have, and taking the precautions that you need to keep that number within your plan. That could be abstaining from sex. That could be having your tubes, ladies having your tubes tied, gentlemen having a vasectomy. It could be using contraceptives like condoms and birth control. But having a general idea of how large you want your family and keeping it within those parameters, and not being like, oh, I guess I'm pregnant. Oh, another kid, another kid, another kid. You're taking steps to prevent that. So that's what family planning is. So depending upon your government policies, depending upon the general education of women in your country, and family planning, that is usually that's going to be the biggest contributors to that leveling off of our overall population or overall world population.